if you're interested in potentially owning OpenAI if they were a public company, there is a public company that owns 27% of
Oh,
OpenAI.
Microsoft.
So any interest in investing in Microsoft then?
Yeah, so no, and I'll tell you why. Because that got priced into Microsoft stock pretty early on when they announced that they were like investing in OpenAI. And if we go to Microsoft, and they may have already reported, by the way.
I think they
Let
did.
me see. Okay. Okay. No, is it Q1? Yeah, October 29th. So yeah, look at this. So 12% beat on EPS, 3% on revenue beat. Wow. This is
And
pretty
they're down
incredible,
like
actually.
almost 3% after hours.
Are they really? Why is that? That's surprising. So people were expecting a bigger beat even than the beat that they had. So um, here's the reason I don't own Microsoft. It's because of this 37 PE for a company that's growing at roughly 15%. So of the big companies, Meta, Microsoft, Google, I think Google and Meta are in far better shape than Microsoft. Uh, and I think, by the way, both of those companies have better talent. And in Meta's case, it's also founder led. So I like, between those three companies, I like Meta the most. I like Google the second most because it has a lower PE and much more tech at Google than Microsoft. And they have their own tech as opposed to owning a piece of another company's tech. Um, and
Right.
I consider Microsoft like third place from those three companies in terms of the tech and talent side of things. Um, but speaking of the other two, let's see how they did. So Google just reported as well. Holy macro, 8% beat. Look at this. This is why I like Google better. 8% beat on top line. They broke $100 billion in a single quarter of revenue, 102 billion.
And they're
They're
up 3.8% after hours.
okay. The expected was 94 billion. How is that even possible? They had an extra 8 billion than the estimate. That is mind blowing. And then their EPS was beat by 26%, $2.87 compared to $2.27. Looking
Now,
at
for Google,
their
that's like finding some loose change in the couch.
yeah, I don't know if you multiply it by their the number of shares that they have,
No,
if that's some loose change. But holy macro, that is unbelievable growth. And yeah, up 4% after hours now, and it might go up even higher. The numbers are absolutely incredible. Okay, how did Meta do? Let's go to Meta.
Meta was also positive, but they're down after hours 6%.
Okay. Oh wow. Let's see here. Okay. I wonder, do we have other estimates as to what analysts were expecting? Because we're seeing like all beats everywhere, but the market reaction is not nearly what you would expect.
Well, for Meta, the one thing that we could point to potentially is the neutral guidance as opposed to positive guidance.
Okay.
That might have an effect. I don't know.
Interesting. Meta breaking $50 billion of revenue. I think that's the first time. Yeah, 51
Yeah, I think
billion
so.
versus 48 billion last year.
Yep.
Wow. And then beating on EPS by 8.8%, $7.25. This might be time to pick up some more Meta if it's down 6%. Holy cow. Yeah, at $700, it becomes attractive again, right? Like the PE of Meta, for example, is 26. This is part of the reason I like Meta better than Microsoft, for example. Yeah, that is
It's
super
funny.
fascinating.
The first thing I look at whenever a company's down is when was the last time they were at this price?
Yeah,
And Meta was down to $705 on October 10th. So if you want to invest in Meta as if it were October 10th,
yeah,
now's the time. But that's how I like to look at it.
yeah. And in October, they were down for no reason too, by the way. Like, so there's, it's kind of interesting. I think it's part of the reason that Meta has been hovering around the $700 price tag is because of the announcements of the amounts of money that they were spending on acquiring AI talent with $100 million signing bonuses. And some of the concern became, is this a similar sort of overspending by Meta in the same way that they overspent on AR, VR? Um, and I think investors have been super concerned about that. Now, when you have this kind of profits, though, it's hard to imagine why investors would remain concerned when you're pumping out $7.25 of profits per quarter, $28 on an annual basis. So this, this makes their PE relatively inexpensive, and if it's down 6% today, their PE is going to go down even further. So, yeah, Meta might be one of those companies that is like on my list of the large cap, like, or mega cap, I should say, the mega caps that are like over $1 trillion companies. Which one do I think has the highest probability of bigger returns? Meta definitely falls into that bucket.